Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Now, your line of business, how easy is it for you to market and advertise it? I mean, when you like I walk up to people anywhere confidently to say, my name is Azuh Arinze, I'm a journalist, I write for Yes International Magazine, I would like to have an interview with you. When you go to people, how do you introduce yourself? How do you market what you do? What do you normally tell them?
Well, I like the reaction when I introduce myself and I say, Pamela Udoka, I'm a clinical psychologist and sex therapist. You know, when you say clinical psychologist, some of them are still with you. When you hit them with the sex therapist, they go, excuse me? Okay? So, it's not that easy. And then sometimes I've been fortunate. It's people that even introduce me. They'll say, have you met Pam? She's a clinical sex therapist. So I tell them, okay, sex therapist I do. We have cognitive therapy. We have rational emotional therapy. We have ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy. People, because sex is just something that people just feel drops from the booze. So when you say like sex therapy, people are shocked. But it's not easy, even to put it on print, even to put it on social media. You have to blank some words and stuff like that. You cannot promote what you do. But I think physically, people are still shocked and they want to know more. They want to know more. It's interesting when they hear what you do and they ask questions. I think they will get used. I get used to it.
All right. I know that you started out. You know, if what I read is correct and if my recall system is still as okay as it used to be, yourself and your husband met at National Theatre where both of you used to work and stuff. Or anyway, the relationship was assumed the higher dimension while both of you worked there, right?
Okay. No. I can give you a brief. I was a copper in Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
Let me just say that briefly. And there's this National Festival of Arts, one that just ended, this NAFEST. So as a copper, I was invited by the state to be one of the judges that will recruit dance troupes that will go for rehearsals in a camp to select artists that participate in NAFEST for Akwa Ibom State. Okay? So when we were doing this judge, when was this mini festival in Akwa Ibom State? Balls all over the place. Arnold Udoka is around. I didn't know who he was. So this suave young man just walked, had this briefcase, and put his leg on the briefcase. I still remember that picture. I still remember the shirt he was wearing. And put his leg on the briefcase and was smoking. So he was smoking, and then he would puff, and then he would look around. I'm like, who is this guy? So, oh, he's in London. He just, he's studying dance. I'm like, studying dance? Because remember, I read theater arts. So, I mean, then, it wasn't applied from state then. It was the
Cross River State.
Yes, it was Cross University of Cross River State. That's why I was a copper, and that's where this event was holding. I was serving in Unicross. It was when I was serving that they created Akwa Ibom State. So then I said, studying dance, he just came. So I hope Akwa Ibom State people will forgive me. Then Udoka came. I think I couldn't concentrate on the judging. He had not spoken to me. He had not said a word to me. But I think what I was doing after then was to ask the judge on my right and the judge on my left what they scored the dance we just watched because I was not watching anymore. I think so. Maybe if the person scored 5/10 and the person on my left scored 7/10, I will just join in and find average, and that will be my score. Okay. So after the festival, after results were announced, we now had to go for dinner. So he came with us, and then he was curious as well that who is this young girl that the state is not from the state, and the state is using her like this. So he wanted to know who I was. I told her from UI, and so we got talking, but we didn't like he didn't say, okay, I want to date you or something. No. I think he was too serious. He was too formal, and I was all eager to listen to him say these things, but he was still trying to be a gentleman. Anyway,
He was still imposing.
He was, and I think to cut a long story short, over that festival, I was not involved in it directly anymore. Then after service, I came back to Lagos. There was supposed to be another program called Decade for Cultural Development. I think President Oba, I think Oba of Shagamu or somewhere in Shagamu, used to be the director of Lagos State Council for Arts and Culture then.
Sure, or something.
So he had called me to audition artists that will choreograph called Decade for Cultural Development. So I remember we had auditioned Unilag, and then we came to National Theatre. And the next thing again, I know this in the country. Next they sent a letter, and then he now appeared in Lagos. I know again. Okay. So I think that's where we really got talking. And said, yeah, he now said, I want to marry you. All this feeling down, I know. He was like, I want to marry you. Go and take your time, think about it. I give you 3 months to 6 months. Think up. I'm like, that's not how they do now. I've said my own. Okay. So I late Gregory, may God rest his soul. Was telling me, please go and agree this thing. What I do, I'm like, excuse me, so that's not how they do now, And there's also a lady in Abuja, Mrs. Oya, who all encouraged me. I was trying to pose to say, he should do this thing well, though my heart was already sold. My heart was gone. So I think it was World Decade for Cultural Development, and everything was sealed. So that's not better yet.
Yes. Thanks for taking us. Yes, through how it all started and everything. Yes, where I was going, or rather, what I wanted to say was that Dr. Pamela Udoka didn't meet you talking about sex and clinical psychology and stuff. So, how easy was it for you to convince him that you wanted to veer into this line of business?
No, you see, he didn't need convincing. If anything, he pushes me so hard. Because remember, this psychology I'm reading is because, or I read, it's because of him. I was in my church when the children are not behaving well, secondary psychology. In fact, when I did developmental psychology, he said there's a psychology that when people have issues, you can help them. I didn't know the name. I mean, I was just a theater artist. So I went back to Unilag and asked clinical psychology. So he said, is that one? So when you have a disorder, clinical assessment and do therapy for you, that is the one you need to do. So by the time all these issues, marital conflicts and sexual were evolving, he was part of it. And sometimes I'll get phone calls and somebody say his name and say, your husband gave me your number and says you can help me with this, that so profession. I'll say yes. And one thing we never do is, for instance, somebody he knows, or he gives my contact to somebody, he doesn't ask me what was wrong with that person. No. All he will ask is, is your client happy? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? You know, especially when I'm doing online, I'm in the bedroom, you know, and it's an online client. I'm working online. He will come and, you know, talking with my hands. Okay, I'm online. He will ask me how many minutes more I will give a sign. Then he will now say, as the person paid. When I say yes, he said, go ahead, go ahead. So he did it convincing.
Okay.
I remember when I started my erector correction class, and I from him, I'm like, what's that for? He won't come school. I said, it's not for professors. He said, please. And he's a man. You know, even though he doesn't now, but at least let him know what to do, what it's about. Okay. So, and he was in one of my classes, paid for. Okay. So he doesn't keep convincing.
Interesting.